What's up guys, welcome to the next little video. In this one I'm going to do a very quick walkthrough about Instagram story ads and how to use those to grow your following. I've done this in the past for quite a few of my clients. I've walked them through how this works. I guess the main thing here is that it's worth noting that if I were you, I wouldn't be spending your money on necessarily trying to grow your following, particularly if you're on e-commerce. I would really be spending my money on those conversion campaigns. But you know, some people want to grow their following for whatever reasons. Normally it's just social proof and things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna jump behind the computer screen and show you step by step how that works. So let's do it. Okay, I'm just in an example ad account for now. Right, let's jump straight into it. So what you want to do is set up a new campaign, and you're going to be setting up a traffic campaign, which ultimately is going to be driving traffic to your Instagram URL. So I'm going to do a number of videos on basic setups of campaigns and how to optimize them. But for now, I'm going to kind of whiz through this and just get to those key bits. So campaign name, you can leave as is. Campaign budget optimization, I'll whack on. I would always do this in this particular case. In terms of campaign budget, again, this is very much dependent on what your budget is ultimately. So it's a difficult one because ultimately you're trying to find out what your cost per follower is. So you can just start this at £20 a day, find out what your cost per follower is, and then from there scale your budget. And then you'll quickly sort of get a feel for how many followers you get for the budget you're spending. But again, I wouldn't typically spend much money on this because I'm looking really to spend most of my money through conversion campaigns, etc. So anyway, for now, I'll leave it as £20. So if we go through to the ad set, you're going to leave us on website. You can come back to the naming of this ad set. But the key thing, in this example, I'm just going to be creating Instagram story ads to get as many followers as physically possible. So the best way to do that is run your ad worldwide. And what you're going to do is you're going to exclude expensive locations. Now there's loads of little lists of these that float around the internet. The United Kingdom's one, United States is another, and can't spell today. United States is another one, and then so is New Zealand, Australia, Canada. Now I know a lot of you guys actually might want, obviously a lot of your sales you'll be looking to get are going to be coming from a lot of these locations, but that's not what this is about. This is all about just getting as many followers as we can for as cheap as we can. So once you've got those locations in, those are good for now. You can always test some more exclusions. You're going to be scrolling down to your interests. Now, keep your age 18 to 65, gender, keep all genders. Detailed targeting, you want to keep this as wide as possible. So if I'm, for example, looking to get as many followers as possible for a social media agency or like a consultant, for example, I would probably run those ads to a interest which is called entrepreneurship. Oh, can't spell. There you go. Yeah. And I've run that to this one, and you could also chuck in a bunch of other ones, but typically I like to run one. In this case, I like to test a bunch of different audiences against each other. So I'd have an individual audience, and then from there you can work out your cheapest audience, and then put all the money through that. So yeah, entrepreneurship, keeping your reach nice and wide is usually a really good one. So's Gary V. Again, this is more. This is more just for if you're looking to grow a page with people who are like budding entrepreneurs, that sort of thing. That's how you get plenty of followers from around the world. So now this is the next important thing. placements. So what's really key here is that you select manual placements, and you're only going to run, obviously, on Instagram, and we're only going to run them on Instagram stories. So right now we're only running Instagram stories. Okay, that will then take us through to the ad itself. Okay, so now we're at the ad stage, the final bit. Okay, so call the ad what you want, pick your Instagram page, then we're going to upload the ad itself. What I would do, here's a very basic example, but I would make sure I've shot a video which is 15 seconds, but 14 just to be safe, so that Instagram doesn't cut the tail of it off. Just explaining why people should follow your page. Here's a very quick example. Hopefully you can hear the audio. Okay, so you don't have to emphasize clicking on the profile at the top. It's actually going to be swipe up. This is from an older ad, but it's just so you get the idea. But ultimately, the most important thing is that you're telling people why they should follow you. Cool. So you put your ad in, then you need to choose your destination. So in this case, I'll take my Instagram URL, whack it in there, and then whatever you want your call to action to be. So in this case, I would ignore all this. This is just because it's an ad account I haven't set up yet. But you can decide what you want. Usually I would have the learn more. I think that works by far the best. Okay. Then it's just a case of hitting publish. So I kind of whizzed through that. The idea is that you just get an understanding of how to set up Instagram story ads. In terms of optimizing it, you really want to let the ad run for a few days. It depends on budget, but if you're spending about £20, I would let it run for a few days across 3 to 5 audiences, and then find out which audiences are the cheapest based on clicks. Unfortunately, you can't track the exact follow from an individual ad set, but you can track those clicks. So that will give you a good guide. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If it was, hit subscribe. I really appreciate that. And I'll be back soon with more videos. Okay, cheers.